Hey everyone, today we're talking about a logging mistake that I see all the time, and honestly when I was a junior dev it kept me awake at nights making sure that I hadn't screwed up honestly. So here we go. Here's what most juniors do when they do logging. Look, I did this too, so no judgment. You write something like this: console.log, user data with user info. Maybe you're feeling fancy and you logger.info, processing order with order info, and you think, perfect, I can see what's happening. But here's the thing: in production, when your app is handling real customer data, this becomes a ticking time bomb, and not the fun kind of time bomb from the movies. So what would a battle-tested senior dev say about this? So firstly, take a deep breath, pour a coffee, I suppose, and then say, we need to think about what happens when this log line fires 10,000 times per second. Because here's the reality: in production, you're not logging for yourself anymore. You're logging for your future self at 3 a.m. when everything's on fire, your teammate who's debugging something that they didn't write, a security team who needs to audit access patterns, and your compliance officer who's making sure you're not accidentally leaking personal data. So let's look at a senior insight, right? An experienced developer will tell you three things. Number one, always ask, what will this look like when it fails? Not if it fails, when, because it will. Number two, structure your logs like you're leaving breadcrumbs for someone who doesn't know your code. That someone might literally be you in 6 months. Number three, log smart, not hard. So every log line has a cost, storage, performance, and your sanity when you're searching through millions of them. So let's look at a bad example. Okay, so there's this code, right? Looks innocent enough, right? Well, it's not. Here's what's wrong. We're logging full credit card numbers. PCI compliance violation, anyone? Payment done, that tells you nothing when it fails. There's, could be up to 50,000 lines of these logs being logged per hour and no idea which one's failed. It could cost you $3,000 a month in log storage. Who knows? And, security team's not going to be happy. Like I said, you're logging credit card details. So let's look at a better example. Okay, so when we look at this, we can see information about what is being logged, the amount, user ID. More importantly, there's no credit card information being logged. Okay, we're logging that payment has initiated, and then we're also logging that payment was succeeded. Logging the request ID, transaction ID, and also the result ID. And if there's an error, we log that the payment had failed. So running through that again, we're logging information about what actually happened. We're logging that the payment has initiated, payment process has initiated. We're logging the result, if it was successful, and if it failed, we're also logging that as well. So there's a workflow there. So here's a mental model. Here's how you should think about logging. We'll use the restaurant kitchen model once again. So imagine your logs are like order tickets in a busy restaurant kitchen, right? So info logs, order received, table 5, burger medium rare. So it's normal operations, right? The warning logs, we're running low on lettuce. Something's off, but we can keep going. Error logs, there's fire in the kitchen. Something broke and needs immediate attention. And debug logs, those are chef's notes. So for example, added extra salt to station 3. Detailed info you only need when investigating. Each ticket needs enough information that any chef can pick it up and know exactly what's happening, but not too much. You don't need the customer's life story. And, don't want to log too little. For example, which table was this again? So here's tomorrow's action, right? Create a simple logging helper. Use this one as an example. So, a quick checklist. Before you log anything in production, ask yourself, does this information contain sensitive data? If so, sanitize it. Can I find this log when something breaks? For example, log user request IDs. Does this tell me, what actually happened? I mean, in logging, context matters. And, will I care about this log in a month? If not, maybe it's the debug level. So, look, logging seems simple until it isn't, right? Not like most things. But if you remember just one thing from this video, make it this. Log what you need to debug, not what you want to watch. Okay? So, your future self, the one who's debugging at 2 AM in the morning will thank you. If this video helped you, smash that like button, subscribe for more lessons from production disasters to wisdom content. And, if you've got a logging horror story, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear them. See you in the next one.